everyone and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, my name's Cam, and today we are doing the name challenge. I've grabbed a whole bunch of products that start with the letter C, and I filled this up. I'm going to set them out in front of me here, and then we are going to get right on into it. My headband here is from Claire's, so I mean, I guess that even kind of is a C. But first, I'm going to use one of my favorite primers. This is the Cover FX Blurring Primer. I do also own their Gripping Primer, but I just like this one a little bit more. Here is the color of it, so it kind of does have a little bit of color to it, but I like this primer because it fills in everything, and it, like, if you have any discoloration, it like sets everything down. To do my eyeshadow first, I haven't used this eyeshadow palette in a while, and this is the Through My Eyes by ColourPop. It was a collab. I don't know how to say her name though. And the other night, I do want to tell you that I did reorganize all of my ColourPop eyeshadow palettes. So these are all the colors that came in this palette. However, I took everything out and organized it the way that I thought would fit my preferences. I don't have an eye primer that starts with the letter C, so I did just use my concealer, which I will talk about in just a second. And like I said, I did reorganize all of my ColourPop palettes to hopefully better my like my creative process with it. So I kind of have like warm tones, pink tones, neutral tones, and then pops of color on this side. So I'm just gonna take this light shade here, and this palette too does have a mirror on it. Not all of my ColourPop palettes do have a mirror on them, but you know, whatever. I have seen this video go through YouTube, and I kind of really like watching them. I like watching and like filming Get Ready With Me. I kind of feel like I'm just talking to myself. And since we're feeling like we're just talking to ourselves, let's talk about this quarantine. So next I'm going to take this shade right here, which is kind of like a taupey with a little bit of glitter in it. So before quarantine, I was posting 2 videos a week kind of consistently, but since quarantine hit, I no longer go into town for school, and I was using my college's Wi-Fi to edit and upload all of my videos. But since I no longer do that, or I no longer go into town, I only go into town about every other week to do grocery shopping and things like that, and I go either to my aunt's or my sister's to edit and upload. I feel like now that I'm only going into town every other week rather than 5 times a week, I no longer have the internet service that I used to, so instead of posting 2 videos every week, I'm going to be posting 3 videos every other week. So we're missing a video every 2 weeks, but that's fine. That's okay. But I mean, while the quarantine is going on in this summer, so I feel like 3 videos every other week is acceptable. So next, I feel like I want to take... We don't have like a matte true brown in here. This nostalgia color has got some purple to it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bottom corner shade here, and I'm going to take this brush right here, which is my Morphe and Jaclyn Hill JH40. I'm going to just take a little bit on here. I'm going to focus it really on the outer portion here. curious. I do have some other ColourPop single shadows that I might use, but I don't think I have any shades that I want to wear with this eye look particularly. So I want to go into this shade right here. Okay, it feels a little bit glittery and a little bit chunky. So we're just going to put it mainly on the center of the lid and blend it into this deep kind of purple. I don't know how exactly this is going to turn out, but I think I want to take this top corner shade up here, and I'm going to put this on the inner section of my eye and kind of blend these two shades together. As I said before, all of my ColourPop shadows, I have taken every shade out and reorganized the colors to where I feel most inspired by the palette. And these two shades right here are shimmers with glitter in them. So, and we do have some matte with glitter in them, like this one, which is the first or the second shade I dipped into. So now I'm going to go back into that color, and we are just going to blend out my crease just a wee bit. I did kind of take that color a little high, but that is okay. We will, tis all good. I kind of want that orange or that taupe to kind of speak through because I want it to tie in this gold here at the inner portion. And I want to take just a little bit more of that deep gray taupey shade and kind of push it back into the outer portion just a wee bit. Okay, I think it turned out alright, and this is using, again, the Through My Eyes palette from ColourPop. I have a lot more C brands than I thought I did. I've got ColourPop, Cover FX, Claudel, Clinique, Cargo, Charlotte Tilbury, Collab, Cella, CoverGirl. I have a lot more C brands than I thought I did. Sorry if your angle changed. I was moving my mirror and almost knocked my camera and my tripod on the floor. So that's fun. I do have a mirror right underneath you guys, so if you can see that, I apologize. But guess I should have said that earlier. I feel like I'm all over the place today. Now I'm gonna go in with my Pretty Fresh. This is the ColourPop Hydraulic Acid Tinted Moisturizer. I've only used this, I think, 2 or 3 times, and I'm gonna get making a mess here. I feel like wearing a tinted moisturizer along with a blurring primer helps, because it's going to help blur everything underneath the foundation, and I don't have perfect skin, as you can tell. I no longer have water at my house. Haven't had water for probably a few weeks, so I have been using brushes for everything rather than sponges. I'm going to apply just a little bit more of this foundation to see if I can build it up any. I have only used this like 2 or 3 times. I normally do 2 layers of it as well to try and get the problem areas of my skin a bit more covered, if that makes sense. I am going to try and use my concealer to spot conceal a few places, but other than that, and I think that pairing this with the Cover FX primer that I use, because it's a blurring primer, is really going to help this foundation cover things because I used a blurring primer. So just kind of know what spray and wet my beauty sponge because I don't have water. And I'm going to use this to kind of press this foundation into the skin and kind of better kind of setting it, making sure there's no lines, things like that. So I don't have a shade that is perfect for spot concealing with a shade that's perfect for spot concealing with this concealer. I only have a very light color to it, and again the applicator is very large. This is the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer in the shade Porcelain L150. I am going to take my sponge, add just a wee bit more setting spray, and we're going to just be careful. I didn't apply all that much concealer because I knew my foundation isn't all that like pigmented, so I didn't want to overpower it with a lot of concealer. But I'm going to take it around my nose, things like that. So how are you guys doing with the quarantine? Like, are you guys, what you doing, I guess? What have you guys been up to? What have you been doing? Also, if there's any videos that you would like to see or like to watch, let me know so maybe I can do some of that. Next, I'm going to take this, which is the Cover FX Perfector Face Palette in the shade Light Medium. I feel like there's a hair on my nose right here, and I can't find it, and it's itchy. So I'm going to take this finishing powder shade here, and I'm going to take it on my Morphe E48 brush. And I'm going to take that finishing powder, and I'm going to set right underneath my eyes here because I don't, aw man, yes I do, I'm messing up. Since I did it to one eye, gotta do it to the other. Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder in the shade Translucent Light. I really do like this one because it has a lid that you can take on and off or close and unclose it so you don't have stuff getting everywhere if you're traveling, or powder going everywhere if you're traveling. So I'm just going to take and set on top of that finishing powder just because I want it to be nice and set, I guess. I really like this powder because it is blurring and it just helps everything fit. Now I'm going to take my Tarte, I don't know what brush this is, but it's from Tarte, I know that, and just blend all of that excess powder away. Now I'm going to take this brush here, which is the Sonia Kashuk powder brush, and I'm going to take my Clinique Beyond Perfecting Powder Foundation in the shade 0.5 Breeze, and I'm just going to tap this. I want a little bit more coverage, so I'm definitely going to tap it instead of swirling it everywhere. And I'm sure you can definitely tell the difference between this side and this side. There is a bit more coverage to it. I also like to take this powder after I've already dispensed it. I like to push it into the areas underneath my eye. I know it's still going to remain a little bit lighter, but pushing this into that section is also going to make everything like seam together rather than have a hard line where the concealer stops and the foundation starts, if that makes sense. Okay. Now I'm going to dip back into this Cover FX Perfecting face palette in the shade Light Medium. And I'm going to dip into this contour shade here. This is a really nice bronzer. I got this palette in a BoxyCharm, and I really, really enjoy it. I don't know what is up with my skin lately, but it's just been breaking out really, really bad. And I thought I was getting better, and then it was like, ha, you thought, and now it's been getting worse. I would have to say this contour palette is probably my favorite shade from this face palette. This palette, you get a bronzer, 2 highlighters, a blush, a brightener, which I have no idea what the heck that is supposed to do, but it kind of looks like a finishing powder, just more brightening. I don't know if you can see it there, but it's just very subtle. I think what I'm going to do is, I don't have a highlighter besides this one. This is the ColourPop Flexitarian Super Shock Chic highlight. I do have pan in this. Normally I would put this on before I do my powder, but I forgot. I normally do forget nowadays, but I'm just going to kind of circle this where I would want my highlight, if that makes sense. Melt everything into the skin right now, so I'm gonna go in with my Claudel Beauty Elixir. I'm almost out of this, and I figured today would be a great day to use it, as it does start with the C. The scent on this is a bit weird, if to say the least, but I mean, it's alright. I want to take a mixture. I don't have a highlight from another brand besides ColourPop, so first I'm going to take my Cargo Blush in the shade The Big SA. Now I think this is the Big Easy shade. I apologize. And I'm going to take my Farrah 102 brush. I got this in an Ipsy a really, really long time ago. And we're just going to squeech. I've had this for a really long time. I was living with my parents when I got this. I got this in a FabFitFun box, and I've lived in the house that I'm in right now for over a year. The house before this house for a year. We were living in an apartment. So I know I've had this, and I had this before I went to South Carolina. So I've had this for, I'd say about 3, maybe 4 years already. That's insane. But it was the first brush I really used, or it's the reason I fell in love with blush, to say the least. Now I'm going to take these 2 shades from the Cover FX. I'm going to take the brightener and the highlighter on the left side. And I'm going to take my ColourPop F5 brush. And I'm just going to mix these 2 together just because I like the brightener shade. And I don't know, I don't think it's going to be enough on its own. So we're just going to, I'm just going to take the brightener shade to kind of hit the center of the face to see what this looks like solely on its own. Ooh, that was a bit much. Went too heavy-handed. We'll set it down with some powder. That brightener shade is no joke. My chin and nose are like glowing. I don't know if y'all can see it on camera, but it looks real good in person. So that is going to be all with this palette. I'm going to reach back into the Through My Eyes from ColourPop, and I'm going to take that first brush we were using, and I'm going to dip into that first shade here that we were using. And we're just going to connect this outer corner just to make everything go in place, you know what I mean? Brush, which is just a very small detail brush. And I'm going to dip into this first shade right here. Get back into this brightening shade here, the top middle. And we're just going to place a little bit right over the top to get more of a champagne-y color to it rather than a gold color. Now we're going to go into the CoverGirl Lash Blast Amplify Primer, and we are going to coat my lashes with this so I can let it dry. I'm also going to apply this Cutie Plumping Lip Gloss to hopefully get my lips nice and prepped for now. My lips are this really weird color because I had foundation and concealer on them. But after I do my brows and stuff, it's coming off. It's because it makes my lashes look really great. However, you need to let this completely dry before you apply a mascara on top of it. My personal preference, just because I feel like it wears better if you let it dry first. It does go on white, so you gotta make sure you completely coat your lashes with mascara, or you're gonna see the white, if you get what I'm saying. I have a brow pencil from a company with a C on it, but I have this one from Mellow, and I also have this one from a Muse, and I haven't used the one from a Muse in a while, and the second letter of my name is A, so I feel like I'm cheating, but I'm making it work. So we're just going to fill in the brows, and I'll be right back. But that's all right. Now I'm going to go in with this clear brow gel from Cella. I was going to do, since I thought that brown eyeliner was a brow pencil, I'm not going to use it. I'm not all that talented at liquid eyeliner, and when I do use liquid eyeliner, I barely have anything on the lids, and I kind of focus on that. So we're not going to use that at the moment, but I don't remember using this all that much, but I think I got it in a BoxyCharm, the clear brow gel, and I'm actually kind of impressed by it. I like it. So now we're going to set everything down with my Cover FX mattifying setting spray. Almost done. The only thing we have left to do is mascara, and I'm going to be using the Clap. This is the Works mascara. It is the pink one. I did pick this up because Tati raves about it, so I'm going to apply this, and then I'll be right back to apply some lips. Okay, now this is definitely not my favorite mascara, but it gets the job done. If you want something that's going to volumize your lashes, I think you're going to like it. It's just this clumps my lashes together, and I'm not really a fan of that. I like something volumizing and like lifting and separating rather than clumping and volumizing, if that makes sense. I'm going to go into my ColourPop Lippy Pencil in the shade Oh Snap. I mean, I could stop there and call it good, but I do want to use, I also had this, which is the collab, what is this? This is the liquid lipstick in the shade Blindfold. This is the Liquid Lip Color Matte Edition. So I do The lip color that I'm going to be using is the Bond Girl from Charlotte Tilbury, which is a bit deeper than the lip liner I used, but that's okay. I like this formula. I feel like, what do you think? Does the lip color go with the eyes, or should I like redirect? But for this video, I think that is going to be all of the products that I'm going to be using. I'm going to take just my Tarte Fluffy brush, and I'm going to dip into this middle finishing powder here and just kind of set my face. Just give it a little bit of sparkle and just funness, if that makes sense. Okay, so I think that is going to conclude the challenge, first letter of your name challenge. The only thing that I had to cheat on was this product right here. I used a whole bunch of different products. I used Clinique, ColourPop, CoverGirl, Cella, Cargo, Cover FX, Claudale, just a whole bunch of different brands and different items, and I think it turned out pretty well. I don't necessarily hate anything that I'm wearing. I don't love the mascara, and I don't really think I like this lip color with this eye look. I am going to be filming one more video with this look. I'm going to be ranking my ColourPop, all of the ColourPop eyeshadow palettes that I do own, so stay tuned for that. And then I think that is all, but I will probably have a different lip color on. Maybe one of the new Ofra lip colors that I just got. So without further ado, I think that's going to be it, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!